Our first game is Washington at Indiana. Number 13, Indiana this week. They have skyrocketed in the polls. It's a 6.5-point spread, a 52.5-point over-under. Let's see. Who would like to go first? Mac, you want to go first?
Yeah, I think Washington's going to win. I think Indiana's just not strong this year.
All right, when are you going to buy a Washington shirt then?
When
are you going to buy your Washington shirt now?
I don't know. I don't live anywhere near Washington, so I can't get their stuff. It's not here in Michigan. I don't know. No, Indiana's going to blow the crap out of them. I mean, it's going to be a huge win for Indiana. I think Washington's got a good offense and might make it fun there for a little bit, but Indiana's currently ranked higher than Alabama, and I honestly didn't think that I would ever live to see that fact. So I'm throwing logic out the window. I'm driving this Indiana hype train, even when it goes right off a cliff, and that's going to be amazing. So I'm going to take Indiana 45-21.
Well, let's just go down the chart here. Justin, what do you got?
Yeah, so Curtis Rourke will be out, but Taven Jackson, he does add a little element to this. He's a dual threat guy, but he's not your typical dual threat where he's going to just scramble out of the pocket or try to do too much flash. He can stand in there, throw when he needs to. He didn't throw a ton in high school, so he's one of those guys. He's just got to get more refined as a passer. But with he's an athletic, 6'5". He's got a lot of fluidity. The thing about the team around him and the staff, they're going to play to his strengths. Just like he came in against Nebraska, played pretty well. Justice Ellison, he's got 514 yards on 7 per carry, so he's been incredible. One of the big things I said going into the Nebraska-Indiana game, I said before the game, I tweeted out the night before, I said Nebraska, one thing that people aren't talking about, what Nebraska has to do to be able to beat Indiana is stop their run game. Everybody's talking about the pass game, get pressure on Rourke. No, Rourke throws good under pressure. Rourke gets the ball out of his hands quickly. If you send pressure from wherever you send it from, he's going to attack that part of the field because then that defender's moved out of that space. I'm going to throw right over the top of him, right? So it's a lot of well-coached stuff. You have to try to stop Indiana's run game to be able to have any chance to stop them. If you stop their run game, then you have the ability to drop more in coverage, or you can pin your ears back and go after the quarterback. But there has not been really anybody who's been able to effectively do that. They ran the ball so well against Nebraska. Their blocking, schemes. They had that wham, I think on their first touchdown, or was that inside zone trap? Something like that, but it was schemed up, blocked to perfection. I mean, they had the one guy on the inside, the guard. He kind of chip blocked, double teamed, immediately got to the second level, get our linebacker out of space. Like they're just a very well coached team all around. So I'm going. Well, then you have Tyson Lossett is another guy. He's got 8 touchdowns as well, but he just about 5.2 per carry. Elijah Surratt, who we all know, one of the better wide receivers in the Big Ten, 32 receptions, 578 yards, and 3 touchdowns. On the defensive side of the ball, D'Angelo Pons is incredible. D'Angelo Pons has been unreal. There was a play against Jamal Banks where D'Angelo Pons, and Jamal Banks is 6'4", 220 pounds, and D'Angelo Pons is 5'9", 170. And he just ripped him off. Like Pons just threw Jamal Banks off. It was literally like he was just throwing him side to side until he got rid of him, ripped him off. He's going to battle. He's tenacious, and he's sticky in man coverage. He's smart in his zone coverage. I just think Indiana, even with Curtis Rourke out, is going to have a little too much. Washington puts up a lot of yards. They suck in the red zone, and they suck on third down. So I'm going to go ahead and say Indiana wins this one 38. Give me 38-28.
Again, with the weird scores.
Not that weird.
It's not that weird.
I don't know. You made it, so it's weird. That's all
Peter,
I got. I'm out.
Peter, what do you got, man?
Now, I'll tell you what. Kirk Cignetti likes stirring the pot. His introductory press conference at the basketball game. Purdue sucks. Michigan and Ohio State suck too. I'm like, I like this dude. All right. I've never heard an Indiana coach say anything about Ohio State.
Yep.
Tom Allen was such a nice guy.
I mean, they've never beaten them in us in my lifetime. 1988 was the last time, and it was before I was born in the year. So it's been a while, but they do. Excuse me. Um, I think Indiana drops 43 on them. The excuse me. The Huskies just don't have enough firepower. It's got to hurt a little bit that Giles Jackson, a former Michigan wide receiver, is tearing it up like he is for Washington.
Yeah.
So props to him.
Mhm.
I didn't really see him being like ever an impact player for them. He's never really produced. I mean, but hey, respect. He's going off in his senior season, so he's coming around. But yeah, they don't have enough firepower. I say 43-23.
22?
43-23. Indiana
23.
wins it.
All right. Gotcha. All right, Rob, you're next.
You know, after
Actually,
seeing,
you know what? Before you go, Rob, I just want to say, anybody in the chat who wants to throw your score in the chat, I will put it up on the screen. So, okay, Rob, go.
Oh yeah, I should have put that as a thingamajigger.
after seeing how they handled Nebraska, sorry, Justin. After seeing how they handled Nebraska, I'm all aboard the Signetti hype train until they play Ohio State. So I have Indiana winning 42-24.
That's pretty close.
Rob's just riding my coattails.
He's doing the Price is Right thing again, man. He's just one score different. Just give
need
me
one
that little.
All right, Garrison. How you feeling?
So all right, yeah, I don't think Nebraska's as bad as they played last week. So I think they left a lot of points out there, as even Justin pointed out. I think Washington's offense is good enough to put up points against Indiana, but I think Indiana's defense is good enough to get some stops, and I think their offense is just greatness. I don't think it matters who's at quarterback for them right now. As you said, the back was young, but he's very talented. I mean, he came in and threw 2 touchdowns last week. So I'll go with Indiana. Shoot, smoking 42 cigs, and then
What?
Yeah, Signetti,
That's Gabby Daddy
Oh,
for you.
okay.
and then let's
God,
go
God.
Washington 30.
30.
High score.
I
game.
think they can get to 30.
All right. Anwar, what do you think?
All right. Well, hey, Washington has to travel to Indiana. It's in Indiana's house. Give me Indiana 42, Washington 14.
I think Big Ten teams have only won 2 of the
Okay.
cross country trips thus far this season, and here we go in season number 1, and that's really going to play a big factor. I know, obviously, Ohio State only lost by 1. That was Oregon playing at their absolute best. Dylan Gabriel playing with his hair on fire, and honestly, they kind of played us for dummies. They didn't put anything on tape, and it was very smart of them. And then they just went all ham on our secondary. But yeah, those cross country trips, they really are going to be a factor. You know, regionalism, as we all know, is gone, and look out. Those are the new kind of trap games, having to travel across the country.
I heard. I don't know if it was just a rumor or not, but I think they were talking about for those games where there's more than like 1,000 miles of travel, they were going to look for a central site.
Sam Hartman's looking downfield for Adrian.
Oh! Carter almost has a one-handed catch.
Almost.